All right, so on today's Witch Word of the Day, it will be violet flame phrase. And the violet flame is a spiritual concept representing a powerful energy that can cleanse, heal, and transform. It's associated with the idea of transmuting negative energy, karma, and emotional blockages into positive energy and spiritual growth. The color violet has long been associated with spiritual energy. It physically and emotionally brings harmony, and violet corresponds with the crown chakra, our connection with the divine and infinite compassion. It also has the highest frequency in the visible spectrum, in the color spectrum, and what's beyond violet is invisible to the human eye. So it's like just before the metaphysical crazy. Vibration is also one of the Hermetic principles, Sean.
Hermes.
Yes, so everything including thought, emotion, reason, and desire has a vibration. The only thing distinguishing one form of manifestation from another is the difference in vibration. So matter, mind, and spirit. And then the violet flame changes those vibrations of things. There you go. The more you know.
You haven't even read that?
Wait, what are you doing with the book?
So he has the confidence to finish the story.
Hear now the words of the witches.
Can you hear the words of the witches? Yeah, the words of the witches.
Welcome to Words of the Witches, the Charmed podcast that will guide you through the lesser-known published lore of the Charmed universe.
In this night and in this hour, we call upon our fanboy power, bringing education and stupefaction to all of you.
Together, we will use our knowledge and reverence abundantly, but also find ourselves sassy and delightful.
Which is why we will truly be charmed.
All right, spellworders, welcome to Words of the Witches, episode 154. I am Kevin, your resident charmed resource.
I'm Sean. I vibrate at hermetic frequencies.
Beautiful. I love that. And joining us is a guest who you may have heard before. We have Sophia with us. Hi.
Hello.
So where we might have heard you before?
You might have heard me before in the Words of Witches musical as Paige.
Yeah, amazing. You did such a good job. Thank you for being a part of that.
You did.
Yeah. It was so much fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope more people continue to discover it, because I do get messages. They're like, what? How did I not know about this? So it's fun. What have you been up to since then? I know you have some drag king stuff that's going on. That's exciting.
Yeah. I recently did my study abroad for my degree in theater in Ireland. And while I was there, I also got to make my Ireland and London drag debut.
Hey.
Yeah. And I've been doing a ton of drag as a drag king in Buffalo, New York, my hometown. My drag king name is Spike Vicious. And I've been performing a lot recently. It's been a ton of fun.
I love that, because I knew Sean would really appreciate that, because we've seen many a drag show, both queen and king, and it's something very exciting for us.
Yeah.
And I just watched King of Drag on Reverie. It was so good. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! Cool. So we did have a poll last week, and the poll was your favorite Leo episode out of 3. And you can choose Saving Private Leo, There's Something About Leo, or Viacone Leos. Which one is your favorite, Sophia?
I mean, out of those 3, I'd probably say Saving Private Leo.
Yeah, that was what I guessed the majority would say as well. Yeah. It's, it is what it is. It's very iconic. Sean and I would be different, and we said Viacone Leos because we want to be different. Yes. But I know Saving Private Leo is a fan favorite. So how do you think the results have ended up?
I think it's probably going to be predictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's do. I did put this on Instagram and YouTube. And on Instagram,
From roll.
yeah, right. So we had 25% say there's something about Leo, 15 votes. 32% Viacom Leo's 20 votes, and then 43% Saving Private Leo 26 votes. So that's ended exactly how I predicted.
Mm-hmm.
And then on YouTube, there were 0 votes for Viacom Leos. 17% for There's Something About Leo, and then 83% for Saving Private Leo.
Okay.
So, yeah. And there's a comment that says, I look at Leo and hear Alison Pregler's voice. Leo! Yeah. We need to get her back on the spot. She was very fun last time we had her. So, yeah. Cool. So, now let's do some manner keeping.
You can't just vanquish an entire house, especially not our house. People are gonna notice.
Manner keeping.
Well, the problem isn't the manner. It's the manner in which it was treated.
A good witch is a clean witch.
Sean, would you like to go first?
Sure, you get to hear all over again. So, my bestie, Rachel, and I, we got to celebrate my week of nothing by going to San Diego, a little day trip. We went to the Whaley House, which is supposedly one of the most haunted houses in America. And we had such a good time. We, nothing crazy. Nobody, pushed us downstairs. No shadow figures. But we got a lot of, voice action going on. There is a theater room in this house where there's supposed to be a ghost that likes to flirt with women. So I left the stage, left Rachel and this other girl on the stage, and I asked it I left the girls alone. How do you feel about that? And it told me to stay, and then it told me slain, and then we left the room and came back later, and I asked it, I'm back. How do you feel? And it told me dread. App on my phone, it just said dread, and then Rachel had a EMF detector to detect energies, and wherever she went in the room, it was following her. Just her though, not either of the other two of us. So I went up to Rachel and grabbed her butt, and it told me weapon. So I didn't think it liked me very much. But we're also by an arch where it was made out of wood of someone who got hanged there, and he supposedly haunts that area. And when we did the voice app there, the words app, it said drop and it said heavy. So we were like, that's really weird that if anywhere in the house it would use those words right here.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. I definitely feel like the place is haunted. I don't think by anything too malevolent, and I would definitely go back there. It was so much fun.
I love that.
I love you
Yay. Awesome. Amazing. I'm ready, Sean. Okay. So first, manner keeping. I don't know if because we talked about it before we were recorded, but I don't know if spellworders know or are wondering why Sophia is not, picture with us. But yeah, technical difficulties. So
We've got your voice, and don't forget about the importance of body language.
Body language. I love it. So yeah. Just so people don't think that we're shutting you out, because
It's totally just issues on my end.
Okay. Yeah, because we're doing video podcasts now. What crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my manner keeping starts with I did see a truck because I go to work and it's a big warehouse, and when I pulled into work, there's this big cargo truck sitting there, and the cargo truck said Shax, and I was like, ooh.
Oh.
And I took a picture of it.
And sent it to me.
Yeah. And then I also took a picture. I didn't send this to anybody, but at the gym, there was a BMW X5, which was Prue's car, so I took a picture of that too, and hope they didn't see me being creepy. We did have the Michael Bailey Smith cameo in Fantastic Four movie. That was super exciting.
Yes.
Super fun. Did you see it? Did you see him?
Yes. I actually work at a movie theater right now.
Oh, nice.
So I got to see it for free. So that was awesome.
Beautiful. Yeah, and then, like, immediately they showed him, like, with his face close up. I'm like, oh, he's right there. He's looking at me. And then we recently had a Sandra Prosper interview. Sheila Morris. I know. So, because this comes out after that is released. And she had such nice things to say about me afterward. She said, I'm going to read some of the quotes. She says, "You did a great job as an interview and welcoming host." So that was good. I had a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and then I sent her because I made the picture for the promo picture, and she's like, "Looking good. You deserve to be on television." What? He's like, "You deserve to be in the cast." I was like, "Really?"
Ooh.
I know, and she's like, and so then I sent her. I'm like, I just do local stuff, and even during the interview, she was asking, she's like, "Oh, do you act?" And so I sent her like videos of me singing and stuff. She's like, "Oh, you're really talented and modest. You should have definitely pursued it. All of the musical movies made in Hollywood, you could easily get a part and launch a film career." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I'm like, that's a lot. I mean, I don't have. The thing is, I don't think I have the sentiment to do that. I don't have like the drive to live like when it's hard and when I'm struggling to be like, I still want to do this. I don't know if I have like the confidence as much, but it was really nice that she said all those things. So yeah, so the Sandra Prosper interview I think was very successful, and I'm excited for people to see it. Also, that Charmed guidebook I told you about, the AI book, I have it.
Oh.
I bought the AI book just so I can, like, we talked about doing it on the podcast. And I read it. It was a very quick read. I would just want to do a quick kind of, like, review of it. So, I do think it is devoid of a human touch. Like, it was literally regurgitating things like the official guidebooks have already said, and topics that have been widely discussed online. I think a lot of it just sounded too familiar. And it had like kind of insignificant assessments, and the writing style is very repetitive. A lot of it's like, they weren't this, they were this. It was not this, it was that. Like so many sentences, like back to back, say that. I'm like, okay, you can break apart from that. There were a handful of essays that analyzed each sister, and those I actually liked, and I was really mad that I liked them. So there's like some nuggets that are good, surrounded by a bunch of crappy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have quotes. They have quotes on every chapter, and every quote is a made-up quote that nobody ever said. So that was... I mean, I can tell you that this is probably the book that has the most canonical errors out of everything we've covered. I mean, I didn't make note of them, but I noticed a lot. So yeah. I just want people to know that if you do want to buy this book, just go in knowing that it's AI. You can, if it's your prerogative, you want to buy an AI book, sure. But I don't want people to be duped into thinking that this is a legitimate or reliable piece of media. So I'm just a completionist, and that's why I have it. So there you go. We'll probably cover it in 2 years. All right, so let's get into our magazine. We have a magazine this week, a new one.
Yes.
It's issue 10. So this is Charm Magazine number 10, Paige Revealed. Oh, published March 28th, 2006. It has Kate Lloyd as the editor, writers Kate Anderson, Phyllis Undergerleiter, David Walden, and Ian Spelling, and designers Caroline Grimshaw, Russell Seal, and Marcus Scudamore. So, Sean, tell us what we'll be discussing today in the contents.
Sure. We've got our latest news. We've got Rose McGowan, Simply Charming. We learn more about Ian Spelling in The Line of Fire. So we find out, is he related to Tori Spelling?
The question we all want to know.
We also get I know. Breaking news. We get a history of witchcraft, which for some reason they used a picture of Leah Michelle for. We get more on the make your own book of shadows. There's a double-sided dildo poster. We also get Brandon Quinn, information about the mighty Quinn. We get another riveting location on Magic School. Scott, is it Jack? Is that how you say it?
Jake.
Jake. Okay. So we get a look at Sam. He's kind of wonderful. We have a demon profile on Rex Buckland. Neil Roberts, Going, Gone. So he's a British actor. For some people, you can subscribe to the magazine, but I know not all fans did that. We also get a look at All Hell's Breaks Loose. We got our Ask Brad show and tell, and then our teaser. I love teasing you about not subscribing, Kevin, even though you did it like the better way and actually went and like purchased from the store.
Yeah, I did. You're right. But, well, let me tell you about this. The reason why I never subscribe to things, and this is just in general for most magazines, is because I didn't want the stupid mail tag covering the magazine that had my name on it. I wanted it pure.
Oh.
So that was a big
more
reason.
Of a fan for not subscribing.
Right. Because I wanted a pure magazine without my name on it, just, there. Yeah.
Touché.
Okay, so now we're at the Bay Mirror. This is the new rebranding of Charmed News. And in the Bay Mirror, we learn that Charmed makes television history. So Repo Manor marks the moment Charmed became the longest running series with female leads, beating Laverne and Shirley, The Golden Girls, and Charlie's Angels.
Gasp.
Gasp. Of course, we do know that Desperate Housewives did end up beating Charmed by like one episode. Whatever.
Yeah.
But at this point in the life of 2005, they were winning. They were the headliner. We have.
I feel like that was very pointed. I feel like they did just one episode just to get that title.
I know.
Just to rub it in
I
their
think
face.
so. Right. It's like, I see what you're doing. We learned that they call her Marnie, but Marnette Patterson and Victor Webster have joined the cast. And Marnette was on Supernatural, and Victor has a black belt, I learned, so I didn't know that. Also, FYI, they just announced, because Book of Shadows Con is happening in Paris next year, Marnette Patterson is actually going to appear at the Charmed convention in Paris. So that was a nice surprise. They have a thing about Noon Orsatti, the stunt coordinator. He was featured heavily in Payback the Witch. You can see him like having lines and stuff and being a rebel rouser and And then there's a whole page on charmedstore.com. There's all kinds of new Charmed merch. We have the season 3 DVD. We have the new calendar. The series 2 action figures with the Valhalla sets. I was on this all the time. The new board game, The Source. So, and Charmed Conversations trading cards. Yay! Then they have a little section about some of the Charmed alums, what they're doing after the show. So Kerr Smith was in E-Ring. I don't know if that ever went anywhere. And Balthazar Getty went to Alias, and then Nick Lachey started guesting on Twins, which I think was a one-season show with Darlene from Roseanne, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there you go. That's the news.
Yup. And now we're getting into it's all about Rose McGowan. It's all about Rose McGowan. Yeah. Like when you open, you get right into just everything about her. Yeah, I mean, it talks about her experience with Charmed, going into like where she was when she started Charmed versus who she is now. Like, did not know when she signed on for Charmed that the show would actually last as long as her contract would.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because I feel like that's the case with shows like Buffy as well, is that everybody on the show thought that it was going to last for a season or two, and then it ended up lasting like 3 times as long.
Right.
Yeah. And she goes into like stuff that I would never think about, like how Charmed ranked high for money but low for actual directors.
Yeah.
She kind of goes into the background of that.
Yeah, because people, like the money men, the people that are like in charge of money and things, are like, oh, they see the potential, they see how successful it is. But movie directors, they're like, I don't know what that is. What's Charmed? That's some TV show? Okay, whatever.
Exactly. There's also, I think I'm kind of skipping around a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
but
sure.
She goes into like her music career, even like asking if she would ever do like music again after singing Fever. And I did not expect her to say that she'd want to do a country album after singing a jazz song on Charmed. Yeah.
And she was like, I like country, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just the quote, well, I'm driving, if you don't like it, get the hell out.
Yeah. Because we see her being so seductive, and then she's like, I'm going to listen to country in my car.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, and she talks for a while about the babies on set. Like talking about how she wants to take home one of the babies who plays Chris. And she even likes giving mohawks to, or she liked giving mohawks to Holly's kid, to Finley.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a part in here where she goes on about being recognized outside of the show and how it's kind of like jarring to her, but that it's perfectly fine when the New York cabbies like randomly yell to her, hey Paige, like I can't,
like, hey Paige.
Yes,
Hey, Paige.
exactly. I feel like that would be more jarring for me than somebody else on the street calling me Paige.
Right. And she always you always thought like every time she heard the name Paige that they were talking to her, and she's like, oh no, that's just a girl named Paige.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
So funny.
The last bit in here is her talking about how she's obsessed with Boston Terriers, because, of course.
Yeah.
And how her favorite episode is Charm Noir.
Yeah, we had to bring that up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of just closes it out with those two. All of the pages within these interviews too are just like the most like glamorous shots of her too.
Yeah, so good. And even have the Charmed Again one, which I love. I'm trying to think. Her Boston Terriers at this time were named Bug and Fester, which are super cute. They're super cute. And I know she did do a song on. I mean, she did release her own album. It's a very trippy album, not country at all. Kind of ethereal. But she did do the song Super Fabulous with BT, and it's kind of a bop. She sings like the chorus for that. I might make that the song this week. But so she's really good with that. And then recently she just put out a song with Mexican guy, Monte. It's like Monte. I can't remember it. So I listened to that, and she mostly just is like her talking in the beginning. So yeah. And Kylie and Brooklyn Gregory were the baby girls who played Chris. So that's something that people don't always think about. Those little girls.
Yeah.
Yep. I hate to be this person real quick, but I love me some Rose. But this picture right here, it looks like she's holding her butt open to fart.
I was thinking it gave me Jawbreaker vibes because she's in blue for that movie.
That's true.
Yes.
I love that movie.
And Darren Stein does follow me. I talk to Darren Stein a lot.
Oh.
So I don't know. He doesn't really know Charmed, but I do think about like, should I get him on the podcast to talk about Rose McGowan? I don't know. But he's really cool.
In the Line of Fire. So this is talking about Ian Spelling, who of course is the one who puts together this magazine. He talks about how he's kind of buddy with Brad Kern, and he says like the first thing everybody asks him is if he's related to Aaron and Tori Spelling, and he's not. I guess him and Aaron had a big conversation about it the first time they met, so they put that to rest right away.
Right.
I guess he was promised by who was it before Brad? It was he talked to somebody else about dying in a movie. And it never happened. So then he told Brad, like, I really just want to die on screen. So basically that was during season 7. And then when season 8, when it like the day after it got renewed for season 8, Brad called him and said, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna die on screen. I hate women."
Are you ready?
And so, yeah. So that's why they put together the demon Ian, named after Ian, and his line was basically like, the Dogen shimmers in, and then he says, "Are you all right?" And then the Dogen kills him.
And then
he says, "No,
yeah,
I'm not."
Immediate.
Yeah.
So this basically just chronicles like what that experience was. Like he got the script in the mail. He practiced his one line. He went to set, and they already had like his outfit picked out for him. And I guess like the one thing that I thought was a little bitchy of Brad Kern was like outing the director for not shooting it better, like showing Ian's face more. But whatever.
Well, it's because he wanted to get he wanted to get a close-up shot. He's like, I told him I wanted a close-up shot, and they didn't do it. And he's like, I guess it wasn't in the cards that day, and so it's like, oh well.
Yeah.
That's
who it was, Don Coscarelli.
Sorry. I was gonna say
Sorry.
the way that it's written about there, it almost seems like he just got out of costume too fast before they could do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they said something like, well, because they said like, no, because remember, well, he said he was gonna leave, and then there was crew members that said, oh no, stay because they might want you to do close-ups, and so they stayed there,
Yeah.
and then they didn't ask for it. He's like, okay, that's a wrap. So then they left.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened. So that was weird. And then he's like, we got it. I do like that he was kind of going around to like, he's like, I'm in costume, and he's going around. He's like, I have to go interview Kaylee Cuoco now for the magazine. And she's like, oh, I heard you're going to be in this episode. Who are you?
Yeah.
She's like, that's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cute how I guess Kaylee thought that he looked like a demon, but she didn't want to bring it up because it could be rude to be like, you look like an evil
Right.
bastard. But
Yeah.
he was in costume.
And then they talked about how like everyone waited around to see his like episode on TV, his 4 seconds on TV.
Oh, yeah. And like his friend literally missed it because he turned his head for a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, Ian Spelling. That's really fun.
Yeah.
See what happens when you work for Charmed Magazine? You get to be on the show.
Yeah.
Yep. For 4 seconds.
And there he is in his costume, his demon outfit,
Yep.
and with Brad Kern. All right. So now we have a section called Something Wicca This Way Comes, Witchcraft History. This was not that exciting. It was really telling you stuff that we already knew, and we talked about a lot in, past episodes, because we talked about witchcraft a lot in this show. But I can fill you in with a few tidbits I got. So the term witch comes from Wicca, which comes from Wicca, which means wise. So that's the chain reaction of it all. witches in history were something to be eradicated. Accusing someone of being a witch was a way of getting rid of your enemies a lot of the time. It's just like, oh, they were mean to me. I want their land, so they're a witch. And they could not convince mobs of their innocence, so a lot of innocent people died. You know, which times were scary. Times changed now, and witchcraft became an interest of people, especially in the 90s. And it kind of spoke to people who were feminists or socially disconnected. And yeah, pulp culture has brought even more positive reception to witches. And that's really the gist of this whole thing.
Yep.
Tell us what pages we have in our Book of Shadows, Sophia. Make your own Book of Shadows today.
Yep. Here, let me. It goes. Some of the pages for this Book of Shadows go back and forth with just like beauty shots of.
Oh yeah, there's a poster in the middle.
Yeah, there's a poster in the middle of them. But they're sideways, so it's the most awkward thing for me to look at a little bit. But yeah, there's one about necromancer. We have one here about charm of multiplicity. Multiply their strength by 3. I'm trying to like scroll, like read them in order.
Yeah.
But it's a little.
We have Maslin on the first page, and that's a repeat of last. We had that same page in last issue, so it's an error.
And then we have Ordo Malorum, which is commanding demonic legions.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. The last one is a return spell, and the past life spell.
Yeah. Yeah, and we had the move ahead and time spell in there too. So, and they're not put together in the order that like we see them, because when you fold it together, they end up being in a different order. And so
that's what I was trying to communicate, but
yeah. So yeah, there we go. Those are the spells. This Make Your Book of Shadows edition.
Yep. And it's got the classic Book of Shadows artwork and everything, of course.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool that we were given access to these so soon. Really, I mean, actually kind of late, but that we even got these at all is pretty exciting. Before the big replicas came to be.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, it's up to you again.
All right, the Mighty Quinn. So this is about Brandon Quinn, who is Agent Murphy. So he talks about how Aaron Spelling keeps using him for different shows. Like, he's been in more Aaron Spelling shows than like anyone, including he was in the Mermaids. What's it called?
Pilot.
Pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought it was funny because he's playing like an unemployed bachelor. So when Brad came to him and said, "We want you to be like a straight-laced, like suit-wearing agent," he was like, "That's not me at all. I'd love to." He's thankful for the opportunity to play like different things that are out of his comfort, because he says it helps as an actor to like embody what you're not, to like grow into that mindset. Yeah. So he came on as Agent Murphy. He kind of just gives us a little information about his life. He seems like a fun person. He was really into sports. He had an accident where he was on crutches. So when he was watching Baywatch, of all things, and not thinking, I want to touch my penis, I want to actually pay attention to the acting, he was like, I want to be an actor. So
he's like, California looks fun.
Yeah, California looks fun. I want to be an actor. So he moved to California. He started acting. He said he got really into like theater, and like the very people that he would have made fun of before his accident were now like his friends and colleagues.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there he was Agent Murphy. And then he also talks about this fun little story where he was in a commercial, and he didn't know that Marsha Cross and Nicolette Sheridan from Desperate Housewives were gonna be like fighting over him in the commercial, and one of them was going to like pick him up and throw him in her cart through like the magic of pulley system and everything. But I guess like the cart was so small that he got all bruised up being thrown into it, and he accidentally like kicked one of the actresses in the face, and like I guess they were like kind of hitting him. Like it just sounded really awkward.
Oh my gosh,
But
yeah.
he said they were both like really lovely about it and like understood that it was a weird situation.
It was a 7-Up Plus commercial.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember if I've seen it.
yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
I have to
It might be on the
YouTube it.
internet somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
we'll
fun.
be able to find it. He was also in his biggest thing before Charmed was Big Wolf on Campus, where he said it was basically like Buffy. I mean, Charmed. He said Buffy first. Where as a werewolf, he would like save innocents on the weekly. He said of like his biggest phobia is like sticky stuff. So like being a
So we know
werewolf
he's not
is
gay.
terrible for him 'cause it's all- yeah, we know he's not gay. Being a werewolf, you have all that sticky crap all over you because you have to have all that fur on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's Brandon Quinn. He's very cute.
There you go. Yeah, very cute. And it even looks cuter now. I always love how they age, and they always look so much better even after the show's over. So, all right. Next is our location section, and we're doing my most favoriteest place ever, magic school. So, yay. So I don't have too many notes about this one. It's another kind of a froofy. Like lately, well, I'll talk about it and I finish. So he says that this is Paul Stahelli again because he's the coordinator, and Phyllis Ungerleider writes the font text here about like, oh, we're in magic school. Oh, isn't it amazing? You can see the library, but then it's like, oh, it's a set. So he says that magic school is gothic mixed with rococo. That must be an artist thing that I'm not privy to. Rococo elements.
Rococo is like kind of adjacent from like the classic like French pre-revolution style.
Okay, cool.
I guess
Thank you.
that would be, yeah.
So yeah, culture since Rococo design came after Gothic, so it's kind of mixing two different periods together. And then the great hall that we have kind of in the middle there, and that big hallway. The one that always reminds me of Wizard of Oz, going to see the wizard with all the angular ceilings and things like that. He says that is the biggest set that they have, or the biggest set that Stahelli designed for Charmed. And fun fact, the movie theater from Still Charmed and Kicking was actually the Great Hall set. So it was the Magic School set that they just added a wall and a lot of chairs. So that was a cool little tidbit that I learned from this. Yeah. 100 chairs. And so that's really all I got from this. And initially I thought the article was cute and kitschy, but the more it goes, like in the past episodes, or past issues, I thought it was a fun little article, but the more that we have these, I'm more annoyed by them. Because I don't know, and maybe this is the worst one because we're talking about magic school, but I was kind of annoyed by this article.
Yeah. Like, it's not really entertaining.
No. The first one was fun. The second one was okay. Then it started getting into weird stuff by the third issue of it. I'm like, eh. So we'll see how much more we have and see if it continues on this path. All right.
All right, I believe I'm
yeah.
next. Okay. Next article is about Sam Kind of Wonderful, and it's mostly focused on Scott Jake, and him playing Rose or Paige's dad, Sam Wilder, because apparently, like, he is a TV veteran, and it's essentially him telling sorry, they have her name, they have the interviewer's name in like a weird funky font. Phyllis, I don't know how to pronounce that
Ungerleider.
last name.
Yeah.
Ungerleider. Thank you. I was trying my hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking to the interview about his experience playing Sam Wilder on the show and how he didn't really expect that he was going to play the character a second time. But kind of talk about how characters in Charmed never really die. He didn't even know until the second time he came back that his character's last name was Wilder.
Yeah.
He wasn't even living in LA the second time he came back. He was living in Chicago, and they called him and were like, "You want to come back on the show?"
Yep. He's like, okay, I'm going to play right now, but I'll have my understudy come in.
Yeah.
Sure.
His understudy was on for 10 shows while he was filming it.
Yeah.
Like, oh. And when Sam returns, obviously he doesn't really have a relationship with Paige. So Paige gets sent on her first. We kind of know this. It's kind of the lore of what happens in the next episodes that Sam is in. It goes over like when Paige is sent in to shape him up. They have a relationship, but it's not perfect, of course. So he explains that he's not the best dad, but he's going to try to be there more for Paige. And then it's also brought up where there's this hypothetical situation that Sam and Patty are going to show back up together again. And if you would have to fight Victor for Patty, and who would win? But he thinks he would just end up letting Patty decide and accept whatever it is, which I think is the best answer you could give.
Right. He's like, this would be a
Yeah.
fun situation.
Mm-hmm.
We should do this in the show.
It's really like, it's funny how he's like, we should have a conflict, but don't like make Scott let Patty decide what it is. Like, let him
Right.
be, yeah, let
The
him not
passive
fight
one.
for it.
Yeah.
Yes, passive. That's the word. Yeah, and then he wraps up the article by just saying that, like, again, he's ready to go back and finish up his production of Merchant of Venice in Chicago.
Ta-da. Yeah. What a journey.
Yeah, it goes through like his whole journey in Charmed the 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I died, but oh, I guess not.
Yeah, he dies until they tell him he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then he's like, I'm a white letter, but I have no powers anymore because I'm a drunk. So
Yes,
Sums it up.
they gotta add a
shit me up,
twist.
Paige. Yeah. Fun. Oh, Sean.
Rex Buckland.
Yeah.
So this talks about Rex. He was Von Quist in 1998. It goes through kind of just his history. He was the what would you call him? The boss, the man in charge at Buckland's. Is that
Yeah.
curator? I don't know.
Yeah.
He was working with Hannah, of course, as his assistant at Buckland's, but they were also working for the Source. So this really points out how Rex is like technically the first person the Source sends after the Charmed ones, and it reminds us that the way that they found the Charmed ones are through like, I think this is the worst plan ever actually. They were like trying to hire someone, and they finally just hired Prue because she exhibited witchy powers. So they're like, "You could be a Charmed one. You're hired."
Yep.
It just so happened she was.
targeted
Lucky
the-
guess.
They targeted the art historians, and they were like,
You know
yeah.
Rococo. You're a witch. So I do like that Phyllis Ungerleider really pointed out, because I didn't really think about it so much, that he is the first one that the Source sent out to find the Charmed ones.
Yeah.
And he's a lot more tame than the other ones that the Source sent out. but she really dives into, is that because he's the first one, or is it because he's like, he exhibits more humanity than the other ones that came after him? So I thought this was, for a review of a character we already know about and for going through his history, I think she added some like flavor to it. So I like this one.
Yeah, she does a really good job of analyzing her features on them, because a lot of these have been fluffy, but ever since she started writing them, I feel like she adds a little bit of depth, which I appreciate. Yeah. She talked about how he was like tactful and patient and preferred not to get his hands dirty, that type of stuff, you know?
Kind of
And
going
his
into
powers.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, going into things that we might not necessarily see on the show, which is what I think the magazine should be for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
He was sophisticated.
So he has astral projection. I like how I said that right after you said sophisticated. What's different about him is it talks about how Prue could actually be seen, probably because she's like more powerful than he is. But he astral projects like into your head in a way. Like he can send his voice into your head. Like he's there, but he's not really there. He also has mind control. So it talks about how he can tell people what he wants them to think. He even told Phoebe to have a premonition that Prue was in danger, and then later she had that premonition.
And that
very nice
is,
little wrap up.
that is a little canonical bit, just because it's not called mind control, it's called suggestion, which is actually a byproduct of most astral projection.
Good call out.
You know, because why be a charmed nerd if you can't say it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, that's it for Rex.
Oh, that's it for Rex. Or is it? Because next we have Going, Gone, an interview with Neil Roberts, who played Rex. So we're still on his bandwagon. Ooh.
What?
So yes, Going, Gone. So Neil Roberts was on 90210, and Spelling remembered him and his work on there, so that's kind of how he got the gig. And I love you talked about his audition, because initially Rex was supposed to be American and Hannah was supposed to be the European one. And so during the audition, he put, yeah, I know, isn't that crazy? So during his audition,
sorry,
go ahead.
I keep acting like I haven't read this before, and my reactions are a little silly.
Like, oh, tell me more. I didn't read this at all. So yeah, but during his initial audition, he's like, oh, he's supposed to be American, so I'm gonna put on an American accent. And the casting director thought he was American in the small talk before the audition, like they're meeting, like, oh yeah, I'm Neil Roberts, la di da di da. But then when he went to actually do the scene, he sounded Australian, and they're like, where are you from? He's like, I'm English. He's like, okay. So then he just embraced the English accent for the character, and they're like, we love it. And then the show Charmed was described to him as a cross between Buffy and Charlie's Angels, which I can see that being accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on his first episode that he was on, that was the episode 2, they told him, we don't know how long you're going to be on it for or where we're going, but we want to tempt the audience. So just be a little like, mysterious. We don't know what's going to happen because we don't, mystery because there's no actual story for you. And then, so the reason why he ended up in America is because he got a new agent that another client in America had, and so he just kind of tagged along to visit. He's like, I'll come and audition for things, and that's how he kind of ended up here. So yeah, Neil Roberts. He did send us that really nice message too about Shannon too. Remember that? So that's really nice that he's kind of around. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Alrighty. All right, this next part is classic Charmed. All hell breaks loose. And it's kind of like the TV guide adjacent section. So it's going through season 3, episode 2, episode 22. I know how to read, I promise. Yeah. It has a little summary of it that I'm trying to figure out the best way to summarize myself. That they get attacked by shacks. A TV crew accidentally records it, and it goes into this whole spiral about that they think that they're going to get caught as being witches, the world is going to end, and they have to make this pact with the source to kind of undo everything. But in the process of doing that, Prue ends up having to sacrifice in order to save the innocent that they were protecting, as well as her sisters. And it kind of like ends on this you don't know what's going to happen next note.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone could die. Anyone is
could die.
in danger.
Exactly. That's why the all hell breaks loose. Everything's you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
There's a little spotlight on Michael Bailey Smith, how he got into acting accidentally when one of his friends went to audition for Nightmare on Elm Street, and then he wasn't even trying, got the role.
Michael.
Which I think
he told the story. Yeah, it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
He told the story on our podcast, which is really cool to hear it from him in person.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of, there's a bunch of did you know little bits about it. Like the headline on the newspaper Prue is holding at the end says police doubt fire was accidental. And
See?
it's a prop. Yeah.
Canonical.
Mrs. Doubtfire is apparently in the same universe as Charmed.
Yes, but canonical, because it wasn't actually in this episode. It was in the first episode.
Okay.
We just talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
So they must have forgot to edit that part out of their summary, because that was the episode from last week. The same note.
Oh.
Because the end of this, there's nobody holding a newspaper at the end of this episode. They're all like laying down dead. Like, what is it talking about?
Awkward.
So I'm like, oh, poor magazine. I love the new design of the Book of Shadows, though. What a great new design they have for these episodes. But yeah. Next is, it's Ask Brad. So I for these I don't really go over them, but I just throw it out to anybody who might have read it, something that they found interesting. So did you read anything in here that you wanted to mention?
I thought when somebody asked him, is Shannon coming back, he had such a short answer, like no explanation or anything. Just, I really can't imagine it. I never say never, but I highly doubt it. I'm like, why won't you just say what happened? It's because you're a jerk and you did this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that made me mad too, because I'm like, I know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he talked about how he got to write Payback's a Witch about the bank thing, which our director Stuart Gillard issues ago is like, that's the most basic plot. Like that's not not gonna do anything. Like that's not an Emmy-winning narrative, and he just did the most basic, trite, cliche premise for an episode. And Brad Kern did that.
Yeah. I feel like the part that I thought was most interesting was also what he said about Shannon.
Yeah.
So
it's very telling. It's very short, but it's very telling.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they asked too. They said something about like, will we ever see the unaired pilot? And he's like, probably never. I don't think so. But then you start talking about like doing commentary for Briscoe County Jr. for no reason. I'm like, this is unrelated. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. Cool. So now we're in show and spell charmed letters. I think they're okay too. Nothing to write home about. But somebody made a board game.
Ooh,
That's cool.
I like those.
Yeah. Made a little charmed board game by Elaine Sabia in London. Anybody want to read the life-saving one? I think that's a good one. The life-saving letter.
Yeah. I mean, I can read it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I am 79 years old and I love Charmed. The sisters, including Prue, are so beautiful and talented. I would like to see the show continue. I feel it was a lifesaver for me. In 2004, I had an infection in my spine after back surgery. I almost died. As I was recovering, my son put on Charmed, TMT in the morning. I liked it so much it gave me an incentive to get up, dress, and eat so I could get better. My son would not turn the TV to Charmed unless I did so. As I got better, I would watch it whenever the show was on, sometimes 3 times in one day. The Charmed ones are multi-talented. They can do both comedy and drama, sometimes in the same episode. They can make you laugh 1 minute and cry the next. It is a pleasure to watch a show that can give you comedy, drama, and sexy scenes without a lot of vulgarity. Keep it up. Please let the WB know that even seniors like to see a great show like Charmed. Yeah.
That was really
That's
sweet.
Belle M. Smith.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, because,
I
yeah.
always I think about that a lot. Like, if I were to die today, I wouldn't know how this phase of Marvel ends. Like, what do you do when you're a
I
nerd?
do think about that. Like, I'll never know there was a sequel to, Freaky Friday. Like,
Yeah.
and I think about that all the time too, because of our media, ingrained in us, Yeah, and then we have some art galleries. Someone did a really beautiful picture of the manor. I like that one a lot. Karen Montague in San Antonio. So that's there. That's pretty. How do you feel about the rest of the gallery here? We have envelope art.
They're good. They're cute.
They're cute. I think it's nice. I feel like that people are submitting their artwork because it just shows how much they love the show and how much it means to them, and they're doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So someone looks like for one of the envelope art, they just printed out a bunch of pictures and made a collage.
Yeah.
About this art drawing's fun. Cool. Oh. Hello.
Hello.
We have a face.
A face.
I do have a face now. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm not using my regular computer because it's getting fixed, and this one is just not the best.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm on my phone, but you can see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in time to say goodbye. But that's okay.
Yes.
We love that. But
Yep.
before we do, because you did finish this issue, I do have to go over the canonical errors. Did any of you mention or notice any that I didn't, spit out already?
Canonical.
I don't think so.
Okay. Let me go over my list.
Your list.
So, my list. It's not that bad. It just, it's what I have. So, all right, let me go back to this Rex page. So I did talk about how Rex does not have the mind control power. It's suggestion. So there's that. There is a quote here. Let me see what it says, though. Okay, so it says... Oh. The end thing. Prue says, go to hell. And Rex says, love to, miss it terribly. It should be, yeah, I'd love to, darling, I miss it terribly.
Oh.
And also... Oh, the one in The Witch's Back, the 109 one, it says, the legend of the locket is true. It proves Prue and her sisters are the charmed ones. That quote doesn't exist. It actually was like a conversation. So Hannah says, we may have proven the legend of the locket true, and that Little Witch is a charmed one, or Little Witch is charmed, but now we have a 17th century warlock running around. I think he'll stick it out. And then he says, yeah, but then again, if the legend does hold true, Matthew's got a one-track mind. So it's like almost like they're paraphrasing what actually happened. So there's that. And then Mrs. Doubtfire newspaper, we talked about that. That's actually from episode 1. And that's it. I do have one that in the All Hell Breaks Loose that is a little suspect, but I can't confirm that it's wrong. When she says, Prue says, yeah, demons, more specifically Shax, he was the Source's assassin. And I always thought she said, who was the Source's assassin? But if you go to like the script on the fandom, it says he was. I'm like, but it doesn't sound like she says that.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So that's something, and it might have just been the way that Shannon delivered it, because it could have been he in the script, and she might have just said who. So that happens a lot of times. I think there's a lot of discrepancies when that occurs. So that's it. So not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I do have a P is for poll.
Another P, imagine that.
P is for poll. My initial poll was going to be like, oh, Hannah can shapeshift. What's something you would like to see her shapeshift into? But then I realized that would be really hard to ask on Instagram on a poll.
Yeah.
I'm like, they can't fit all that many words. Okay. So I just put, who is creepier, Rex Buckland or the Demon of Illusion? Both British baddies.
Oh.
For me, I think I'm gonna go with Demon of Illusion. Because I don't know if it's like the dark circles under his eyes or the ponytail. But I don't know. He was definitely more aggressive, because Rex was very tactile and patient and calculated, whereas Demon of Illusion is like, I'm gonna run into things. I'm gonna chase you down the street to your house. So he's like, there's less time to process with him. So that's why I think he's creepier too.
Yeah. I think Rex is definitely less creepy. If I had to choose who was like the. So the poll is who's the bigger baddie, like who's the more evil, or who's.
Right. It's kind of how you interpret it. I put creepy, but it could be however you interpret it.
Okay, yeah. Creepy wise, definitely not Rex. Because he just looks like a British dude for most of it. You know what I mean?
I think he would probably have sexual harassment charges on in the workplace, but that's about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Sean?
I'd say the same. We get to know Rex more, so like generally like he's fun, but he's not dangerous feeling. So I'll go with Demon of Illusion as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we'll see how that goes down. And that's all I got for this episode then. All I gotta do now is talk about what's gonna be happening next issue. We're in our cycle of going to the sisters. It's always like Piper, Phoebe, Paige, Piper, Paige, Phoebe, Piper. So it's just keep going between them. I wish they would have at least, because there's so many different features in these magazines, I wish they would have at least highlighted something else besides a sister. But maybe they just think that's what's going to sell magazines,
I think it would be interesting if they did an issue on Leo or something.
Yeah, because they do have features with Leo in there. Last one there was a whole Bye Bye Brian section, but then they don't put him on the cover. They don't make him the main headline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, but yeah, next issue we have Holly Uncovered. Holly talking about the 8th season of Charmed and her plans for the future. Finale fling, we go behind the scenes on the most likely final episode. They still don't know. Okay. Ivan Sergey Oh, the object of Paige's affection speaks out. Our Henry. Oh! And then we have an episode guide on season 8, which we probably won't get into detail at all on, but it will be there. So yeah, that's coming next 2 weeks from now. Fun! Thanks for joining us. Oh my goodness.
It was so much fun. Thank you for having me on. Like, despite the technological issues, I'm so happy I got to be in an episode.
Yeah, it's something that was on my mind ever since we had you on for the musical. We had you on the behind the scenes things before, but I wanted to get you on an official episode too. So glad to make it happen. Yay!
Yeah.
So where can we follow you? Where can we follow you in all the places?
Yes. On Instagram, my personal is Soph SOPH tortellini, like the pasta. And then if you're interested in seeing my drag stuff, that's on Instagram at spike.vicious. I do also have a YouTube channel, and that's literally just my name, Sophia Tarantelli. Yeah.
Nice. And you sing songs because you have a beautiful voice.
Yeah. Thank you. I've been doing as much musical things as acting recently, but I do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sean, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram or TikTok under Shawnee Havoc, and you can find our other podcast, Solving for X, under solvingforx.xmen.tas. We are almost done with Evolution finally. Crazy.
Almost done. I know. A whole new era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can find me at KJEEZY87 on Instagram. That also happens to be my TikTok. I don't really promote my TikTok, but that's also where I make all of the clips for this podcast on the TikTok. So it's there if you want to watch that. And then if you want to follow this podcast, we're Words of the Witches on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for listening, Spellworders. Your destiny still awaits.